any Chinese words or Japanese words to introduce us tonight. Do you?
Arigato.
Oh, okay. What's that mean?
Hello.
Oh, okay. Yeah, when it comes to foreign languages, I understand foods. That's probably why we have this podcast because, if you were going to talk to me about, hey, Tim, talk to me in Spanish, I would say I understand a couple words. I understand taco, burrito, uh, and Japanese. I understand sushi and sake. All
There
right,
you
so
go.
that's the amount of language I understand. But tonight's episode, ladies and gentlemen, sushi and sake, which I know we've never had sake on the show yet.
Correct.
No.
So I have my little from Cafe Yum. It is out here in Oregon. And Konbawa.
Konbawa? All right. Is that how you say it there, Robert? Yeah. Anyway.
Cool. So this is really cool because it's got my knife, my fork, my spoon, and my chopsticks. So
see, we just have a bunch of standing chopsticks in the drawer. In the silverware drawer, we have probably about 6 or 7 pairs of chopsticks. All right. Plastic ones. I really truthfully, and I sat and looked at them when I was getting this. I got it mine at the grocery store today. I sat and looked about getting the cheap wood ones. I like them.
Oh yeah.
I don't know why? I just do.
Well, I used to have the cheap wood ones that I've used, for various things more, as I'm cooking or what have you for other things. But I do have a really nice pair of chopsticks that are engraved. So they're metal at the top, wood at the bottom, beautiful. I do like these. I have another pair that are not as nice as these, but those are the ones that I usually use at home. But today it's like going, you know what? I'm gonna go with the nicer pair from Cafe Yum that I got, and I don't even remember exactly how I came across these, but I got them. So.
Wow. So, I mean, and then when it comes to the sake, I mean, there is a whole thing. I know you've got a great history thing on sake and sushi tonight.
Yes.
But I wanted to talk about the first times we ever had sushi or sake.
Oh, I do remember. I remember.
I remember too. My first sushi was it was a place called God, it was a oh God, I want to say it was Bonsai Rock or something like that.
Okay.
It was a one of those, what do they call the grills, the Japanese grills?
Oh, like a teppanyaki, like a benihana?
Like a benihana. What do they call that grill? Because I mean, there's a name.
Teppanyaki.
Huh?
A teppanyaki?
It could be teppanyaki. Yeah. What is the name of the restaurant though?
Benihana's is the one that I know. That's kind of a chain. Not Benihana's?
No, it wasn't a benihana. It was an individual place, but I can't remember what. And it was whatever the American name they use for that type of restaurant.
Okay.
And I can't think of like something grill they call it, and I can't think what they call it. Anyway, it was a restaurant that had that, and we kind of stumbled onto it in the town I lived in at the time. Would have been 2002, 2003 time frame.
Okay.
And I was always going in there for the grill. And one day, I mean, I got to know the manager very well, and he said, "Well, have you ever tried sushi?" I'm like, "I've never tried it." So the first thing he did was he made me a you know what I mean? I think it was a California roll.
Okay.
Hold on. Somebody wants to say hi. Say hi.
Hi.
Say hi. Say hi. Yeah.
He's on. I don't want to.
He doesn't want to tonight. He's not going to have any of this to eat because his mama has seafood allergies.
Yeah.
So we're not gonna experiment yet.
Right.
But anyway, so he got me to try. At first, it was a California roll.
Okay.
I can't remember when the first time I ever had the raw fish, but as soon as I had it, I fell in love with it. And I do remember the first time he got me to try sake.
Okay.
All right. It felt like it closed up my esophagus. I couldn't swallow anything for like 3 weeks.
Oh, wow.
And that gave me a fear of drinking it ever since. So, I mean, and like we go to places all the time, and my, my wife and everybody has it. All right. I hardly ever do. I sip on it sometimes, but
Mm,
this is going to be the first time I've kind of actually drank sake.
okay.
All right. In a while, but that, yeah, same restaurant. All right. And he keeps wanting to sneak in.
So this particular one, it was a gift that I got, and
Mhm.
it's Sayuri.
Okay.
Sayuri. I can see Sayuri.
Yeah.
It was a gift, and I was going to get another bottle because there is a particular one. But the interesting thing with this particular one, it is made by Sake One. Sake One is here in Oregon, and I have tasted. They have one that's called G, and they have two. One that's Joy, and the other one that's I think it's called 50. Joy is orange, 50 is green, and the green one is the one that I like, and I've had it before. It's local. So this one is from Sake One. Sake One was established back in 1992 as a premier Japanese sake importer. So that's what they were all about, was being an importer. But they wanted to have exclusive importing some of the finest Japanese sakes. And so they wanted to bring that production here to the US. So in 97, they tapped into the Willamette Valley here, the waters here in the Willamette Valley in Oregon, in Forest Grove, Oregon, which is, depending on traffic, I can get there maybe 15 minutes or an hour and a half, just depends. And they started brewing sake out there. And so they wanted to provide a high quality sake. And so they became one of the America's first successful craft sake producers. And so the new CEO and president of Sake One he has like a background in wine here in Oregon. And so in August of 2009, the brewmaster, he's got like extensive experience with sake. So since 2018, brewmaster Takumi, I'm not even going to try to pronounce his last name, he's been expanding that expertise here in Oregon.
Wow.
And this particular one is the number one Nigori from Japan. So it's the Nigori sake, and it is Junmai, Junmai, which means pure rice.
Yeah.
It's Nigori, cloudy.
Okay.
And Jumani tells you that the only ingredients used for the sake are water, steamed rice, koji, and yeast. So 4 ingredients are in here.
That's all. Yeah.
And Nigori tells you that it's cloudy, and there are many that are pure rice and cloudy sake, but most Nigori tend to be creamy and sweeter than the clear sakes. So Nigori, this cloudy, was banned from 1868 until 1912, and it was because the clear sake was becoming a little bit more common, and the government considered this cloudy as less refined. Additionally, they wanted to monetize the sake brewing, and so they wanted to increase that tax basis and keep the farmers from brewing their own. And so 1964 is when things changed. There is the mill polish is 70%. What does that mean? Sake milling or polishing is the process to remove the outer layers of the brown rice to create the starchy core that's used in sake brewing. And it's crucial in the way that sake is gonna, its flavor, its aroma, its classification. So it's the rice polishing ratio. And so all the outer layers is where you get the fat, the proteins, and the minerals that are going to affect the sake's flavor in a negative way. And so the mill creates that, or that milling process creates a clearer, more refined flavor so that you don't have all these additional components in there. And so it's carefully milled, and it is very time consuming, especially for premium sake categories. And the 70% means that 30% of the grain has been milled away. So that's how you know that 30% is gone. And then depending on the type of sake will depend on what's required. For this one, 70% or less. For the Jinjo, it requires 60%. And for the the Dai Jinjo, it's 50%. This particular sake is 12.5% alcohol by volume. They do use domestic Japanese rice. This is, mind you, I just opened the bottle. It's supposed to be smooth, lush, fruity, and floral. And the yeast they used is Hakutsuru, which is a proprietary yeast. And the serving temperature for this should be room temperature to chilled. Now, there are some sakes that you want them warm.
Yeah.
And so this is gluten-free, sulfite-free, and it did win a couple of accolades of silver and gold in 2019 in Los Angeles. So the sayuri, which you'll see here, sayuri, in Japanese it means little lily. So the name is, and I guess that's why they have the little flowers in here. It's soft, it's floral, hints of white grape, elements of cherry blossoms that tie in there. So it is a creamy sake that's delicious, smooth finish. This is supposed to pair well with spicy foods and desserts such as chocolate. I do have my my ginger here and my wasabi, so I'm going to add the wasabi to it. The lady at the, so I did go to the Safeway here. They do have a kui inside, which is their Japanese little sake or sushi place. The lady there is just amazing. And I was debating what I wanted. And she's asked me before when she sees me thinking. And I said, well, I didn't really want the shrimp. I love shrimp, just not on my sushi or my sashimi.
Yeah, to me, shrimp is not a, yeah, because I don't want to eat shrimp raw.
Right. Well, I don't mind if it's the raw shrimp, the sweet shrimp. That is absolutely delicious. So what she did is she took it back and then replaced it with some salmon. So I was like, yes. And this is the sampler. It's the chef's choice. So I have a little bit of one with the sauce, no sauce. And then this one has the crab inside and cucumber and avocado. This one is almost like a California roll, but it does have avocado inside. And then it's got the salmon on top with that little mayonnaise sauce. And then, of course, tuna and salmon, although yellowtail is my next one. So yellowtail, salmon, and tuna are in that order. I absolutely love them just because of the flavors are just so yummy. I do like having my ginger as well as my my wasabi. Now, the first time I had sushi, I do remember I went with one of my brother's girlfriend at the time. We went to this little restaurant. It was the only Japanese restaurant in East LA. And of course, I burnt my mouth because I didn't realize because of the wasabi. But it was still good. And I do remember getting green tea because I've always loved drinking green tea with my sushi. And I asked for sugar. And the owner there says, Japanese tea, no sugar, and walked away and did not give me sugar. I was like, okay. So I learned that very quickly. No sugar when you're having Japanese tea.
I did think about getting some, like I have it here. We have like jasmine tea or something. I was going to make some tonight and do that as well. But so yeah, I've got a little. It's a little called. It says draft sake onto it. All right. I did get it, so you guys know. And this is the clear one. I mean, the bottle is white, but it's clear. All right. And I don't have a clear cup.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I decided to bring in my Texas shot glass. Because I basically was going, okay, we didn't pick a brand. We just said sake.
Right.
And I went off of, you know what I mean? I went off of different looks, and this was a smaller bottle. And I was afraid that I would get a bottle and not like it, and then it would sit here and go to waste in my house. But you know, I was hoping to get sashimi, which is just the meat without the rice, but they didn't have any. So I did get a tuna roll, tuna and avocado roll, and so some sushi that is, you know, on top of the rice. All right. My favorite, my second favorite, so you know, on sushi is salmon. My ultimate favorite, and there was one sushi restaurant we had down near the condo where we used to live when we started the show that did a sea bass
Oh,
that was like I would always order extra of it every time I was there. Um, some things that you know what I mean. I like the tuna as the third, but we usually have gone when we've gotten sushi. We had a restaurant that we used to go to in Irving when we lived down there. That literally, when we walked in, the owner of the restaurant pulled this big boat down because he knew what we were getting.
nice.
He always pulled it down, and we got the big boat of sashimi.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
and that was the restaurant, and we were pretty much frequent in there. But it was right next to where the Byron Nelson is held.
Okay.
All right, the big resort hotel was right there.
Okay.
So if celebrities came to town and stayed at that resort, this is the sushi place they came to.
Mm.
And generally, when we went in there to sit, we always sat in the back corner, like the celebrity corner. And it's not just you know what I mean. It's like we were always in that corner because we wanted to go and have time to ourselves. We never sat out in the main area.
Right.
Well, I come in one night and I'm there. I think we had both our boys were there with us at the time. And I think maybe their partners were there. It was Gwen and I. And we walk in and someone's sitting over at our table.
Oh no. How dare they?
Like, how dare they? But we go sit down at another table and I look over there again and I look at the person and I go, he looks familiar. I know this guy. So I proceed to say to Gwen, hey, Gwen, look up on your phone real quick and tell me where the Eagles, the band, is playing tonight. And sure enough, they were playing in Dallas that night.
Oh, nice.
The person sitting over there was Timothy B. Schmidt, the bass player.
Oh.
And I looked at him after a while. I go, I said, guys, that's Timothy B. Schmidt from the Eagles. So me, I don't mind if ever people. By the way, you ever see me in a restaurant and you want to walk up to me, I'm going to say hi to you. I'll probably get up and take a picture with you. That's just friendly as I am.
Right.
So I go over to the table and I said, sir, I said, usually we sit over in this corner. We're just curious. You're in this corner. And I'm sure you want to be alone. I said, but you look very much like Timothy B. Schmidt from the Eagles.
He goes, yeah, I get that a lot.
And he goes, that's probably because I am.
No.
He was a real gentleman, right? And I said, no, sir. I mean, he was willing to get up and come and hang on. I was like, no, sir. I said, I'm sure you came here for your privacy. I'm not asking you to join us at our table. I said, but feel free and stop by our table and say goodbye on your way out. I said, I would appreciate that. And he did. He came by our table and said goodbye and thanked us for being a fan and everything. And it was a great, you know what I mean? A great celebrity meeting without being, I didn't want to be overbearing because I did walk up to his table.
Right.
Right. And he was very, very kind to me, even though I did that to him. And I know sometimes they want to be left alone, but it was not like it wasn't like a roped off area or anything. It was just a typical restaurant. But I'll never forget that night. You know what I mean? Just sitting there and that was one of those places. But yeah, but it comes down to my favorites. They used to have a sashimi boat.
Okay.
That had everything onto it. Yellowtail. All right. Yellow tuna. Shrimp was onto it. They had white tuna. They had salmon. I can't think of all the stuff they used to have on there. And sea bass and stuff like that. And I used to love that. And we would get that in maybe one roll each.
Okay.
And we were stuffed. Every time stuffed. I mean, and that's just the way it was. You know what I mean? There is one specialty, though, my brother turned me on to. That was the little quail egg. Oh,
okay. I've been curious about it. Haven't had it.
Oh, it's it's a cocktail.
Okay.
The way they make it, and it's in the shell still, and you shoot it. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, phenomenal. I love it. And every time I see someone a place that has it, I get it. Yeah.
Nice. Well, sake does have a long history. It dates back 2,000 years, where it was used as a sacred offering, as a popular beverage. And so it was because of the rice cultivation, and eventually it found itself into the religious ceremonies and social gatherings. But over time, the brewing techniques have improved and leading to the development of what we see now. but it did use ancient grains. Then it became that sacred drink used in Shinto and Buddhist ceremonies. Then it went into the imperial courts and the temples. And then it got to the general population. So it's gone through its process, like a lot of other things. But the brewing techniques have also improved. So now we get more clear and refined sake. And the modern process began in the early 16th century. And this was called the Edo period from 1603 to 1868. And there was the demand for a lighter, less sweet sake. And so that's where new filtration came into play. And then in the 20th century, the Jingo Shu was this floral aroma. It became very trendy. And then with the yeast strains and temperature control, it really evolved. So during World War II, there was a rice shortage. And so then this led to additional distilling alcohol, which became more of a common practice. And then using steel tanks, that improved the production and quality. And then after post-war, World War II, sake production and consumption peaked in the 1970s. And then, of course, that led to economic growth and development and infrastructure. And then premium sakes, the demand for them came into, and which led, more experimentation, new flavors, new methods. So there is a cultural significance. When you hear sake, you think Japanese, you think ceremonies, celebrations, social gatherings, but it has gained global popularity. So you can find sake breweries across the globe. And even if there's no breweries, you're going to find sake around the world, which is nice, and so there's been a lot of shifts over the years. So that's been kind of fun to read about sake and seeing it, especially because we do have Sake One here in Oregon, which is great. But another thing that when you hear sushi, the first thing that comes to mind is Japanese cuisine. Yeah. And so it is Southeast Asia, and it was a way originally to preserve the fish by fermenting it in salted rice. And
Wow, I didn't know
and
that.
It was called narazushi, which I might have butchered it, but it was introduced in Japan around the 8th century, where it was adapted. And of course, it's evolved over time. But the sushi chef started to experiment, reducing the fermentation time and then creating this fresh rice-based sushi we know today. So early, it was about fermenting the rice. Then it was that fermentation was introduced into Japan via China. And then it became very popular in Japan, especially amongst the Buddhist monks who avoided meat. And then it developed to yagazushi, which was that reduction of the fermentation time. And they called it a quick sushi, which they were using a vine guard rice instead of fermenting the rice. Then it moved to Edo-mei sushi. That was in the 19th century, which is modern day. Edo is modern day Tokyo, where it was the center of sushi innovation. So that's where fresh seafood, rice, and more refined presentation. So now the modern sushi follows that Edo Mei sushi foundation, if you will, which is that focused on fresh, high quality ingredients and then the skillful preparation. Because nothing says like art than just when they lay out the sushi in this gorgeous array. When you got your sushi boat, I'm sure that it just looked beautiful.
Yeah, it was a beautiful piece of art.
Yes. Yeah. And so it's a culinary masterpiece. That's what sushi is all about. So I do have Sushi Avenue here that on their anniversary, their sushi rolls were at 50% off. I remember going there with my mom. They did sell a few years back, but the new owners, they're keeping in style with the same quality. There is Sushi Track here where it goes on a track and you just pick it up. quality's not as great as my sit down Sushi Avenue. There is an all you can eat sushi in Vegas that's off the strip. They have one on the strip, one off the strip. I like the one off the strip because you don't have to wait as long and the quality is still really good. Now, one thing that I did learn is that ginger is your palate cleanser. So when you're going from one sushi roll to another, or if you're going from salmon to tuna, you want to eat the ginger to cleanse your palate, and then you have the next one. When you're having the sashimi, which is just the fish, you're supposed to get your sashimi. Excuse me. You get your sashimi. You dip it into a little bit of wasabi, or you can just get some of the wasabi, put it on the sashimi. Then you do a light dip into your soy sauce, and then you eat it. But it is just a little light dip. But this is the way you're supposed to eat your sashimi. So essentially, a little bit here, a little dip there.
So,
with the spiciness of the wasabi, with the sweetness, and it is not overly sweet. Y'all know I don't do sweet. This tastes pretty yum. So I do like that. That's pretty good. Yeah. Oh, Japanese mom cook. So thank you, Robert, for highly recommending. Yes. Japanese moms cook. All right. I love Japanese food. It's, I can eat sushi every day. I just truly do enjoy it.
I do too. I could eat it for lunch almost every day. It's what I mean, if I'm going out for dinner onto it, I'm going out to a good place onto it.
Yeah.
But my wife and I have a habit of going to a sushi place and spending a car payment. I don't know why, we just do.
You find a good place with good sushi? There is a Japanese sushi chef. He's well renowned. There are months wait period, or months you have to wait to get in. It's a small place that's supposed to be on the main train drag, if you will.
Yeah.
He taught his son. His son opened up another location with the same style. So you don't choose what you're going to eat. Chef chooses for you. After speaking to you, he decides to pick what you're going to eat. So he gets to know your personality and tailors what he makes specifically for you. So very specific, very different, very expensive, very expensive. My cousin got to do it one time some years ago, but one of his best friends is Japanese, and she has family out there, so they were able to get in during the time that they were visiting out there. So,
well, I mean, to me, sushi is an experience.
Yes,
I mean? It's not just a meal; it's an experience. That's why it's. I'm not always a fan of going to the grocery store to get it, but during my during my dark times when I was near homeless, 2005 to 2007, that's where I got grocery store sushi. And what it was is, at the time I lived off of the McDonald's. If you know my story, I lived off the McDonald's dollar menu. And if I've got like a good week or a bonus week, or I would go to Whole Foods and I would get sushi from Whole Foods. I would sit on a patio outside and eat it. All right.
Nice.
At the time, I didn't have a car, so I was either riding my pedal bike or riding my scooter there. So it's not like I was going to take it and put it in my backpack and ride back home.
Right.
All right. And I remember many of December nights, or January nights, or February nights, sitting on a patio outside at night having sushi at a grocery store. I considered that was my luxury at the time.
Right. Well, the Whole Foods here, they have they have indoor and outdoor seating. So I don't know if it was like that back then.
No.
So what Robert says, it's kon ban wa.
Yeah.
That's how you pronounce good evening.
Means good evening.
Yes. Mm.
Now, originally when I thought we were doing this show, I thought I was going to have to go to the liquor store to get this. And then I remembered sake is not a whiskey, it is a wine. And I know because it's alcohol, everybody seems confused as what is it?
Yeah.
Now there is Japanese wines and there are Japanese whiskeys. And we've had Japanese whiskeys before. Yeah. All right.
I had to pull it out.
Mm-hmm.
So Suntory wine or Suntory whiskey. As you can tell, there's not a whole lot left, but I did pull it out. That was the interesting thing is that I was going to get one of the smaller bottles, but where they normally keep the sake, there was none there today. And I was like, well, this is weird.
Yeah.
But I went in and out because I was like, go, go, go. Today's been a crazy day. I didn't ask, hey, where's the sake? But yes, you're going to find it in the wine aisle. So even if you're in a control,
actually, my wife told me what aisle it was in at the store because she said when we were planning the show yesterday, my wife's like, well, I'm going to go to the grocery store. I'm like, well, I'm not buying sushi a day before.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, I'm going to buy it fresh that day. And I literally I didn't go over until after lunchtime today. So I bet you if I would have went before lunch, I would have probably had a lot better selection to go through.
Right.
But I went after lunchtime, so I got a lot of just left there. But the sake, I got to tell you, I kind of like this. It's not a strong whiskey, which I felt the first time I ever had. I felt it was a strong whiskey, like burning. I don't know what kind it was, but this is not burning. This is a sweet, but not sweet wine.
Ooh. Wasabi.
Okay. I wouldn't be. I wouldn't do it if I didn't mention this. If you remember the movie Cars,
Like the cartoon?
Like the cartoon Cars from Disney. The second, Cars 2, where they were overseas, and Mater the tow truck, which was played by Larry the Cable Guy.
Uh-huh.
All right. He was at some place where they were having sushi, and he seen the pile of wasabi and went, ooh, pistachio ice cream.
Oh,
yeah.
Ouch. That hurt.
And yeah, and then you see him running to go get. So my helper's back. He got done his bath. He's coming out. No. Can't have that. But you got some of Grandpa's water. All right. Sip on Grandpa's water. There you go. It's water, ladies and gentlemen. He's drinking Grandpa's water. Always have water, which we always do. Water is a palate when we're tasting things.
Yeah. I love these little separators. Those are always fun. Oh. And when you get exactly what you want, sometimes it's whatever chef chooses, but sometimes you can say, hey, I really don't like X. It's like, give me whatever, just don't give me the shrimp, because I love shrimp.
Yeah.
I just don't like, unless it's the ebi. Ebi is the sweet shrimp where they take the head and they fry it, they deep fry it, and then they serve the deep fried head along with the ebi. That's sweet, which is absolutely delicious. Oh my goodness. If you have a good one, it melts in your mouth. I went to the sushi place one time. I was going to go see Wicked. Yeah. And so I said, I'm going to go eat sushi at this one place across the street from the Keller Auditorium. Went there, sat at the sushi bar. They have, a whole experience there, which I love it. And so I said, I wanted the ebi. And then the chef barely speaks any English. Barely. And so he says, frozen. And I said, no. And he goes, choose. So I got to pick my shrimp.
Wow.
From in front of me. And they took care of it. So it was fresh. You cannot beat that. That was that level of fresh. which
the
was
beginning of
absolutely
the episode, I said the name of the grill, Hibachi.
hibachi. Yes.
Hibachi. Yeah, the name of the restaurant that I actually had sushi in the first time was called Hibachi Rock.
Okay.
And I remember it now. It was in Allen, Texas,
Yeah.
and remember I met the owners and I met the manager at the time. So, and the manager got me hooked on all kinds of stuff. So, and when they first opened, they didn't have a liquor license, so they couldn't sell you liquor. They could offer it,
Mm.
and they kept offering it. When they finally got their liquor license, I come in one day, just automatically gave me a beer, and I'm like, okay, thank you, all right. And the owner come out, go, don't you take my free beer? I'm like, no, I'll pay for it. You got your license? I can pay for you finally. She's like, you're not here get free, are you? And I'm like, no. I said, I'm here to.
That's cute. They would offer, but they couldn't sell it.
Well, yeah, in the beginning they couldn't because they didn't have a liquor license.
But so they would offer it, and if you said yes, you'd get it for free?
Yeah.
That's cute.
Well, and they were, it was a great family. After I moved away from there, of course, I mean, I didn't go back there, and I don't even know if they're in business anymore, to tell you the truth. I mean, and it's quite a distance from where I live now. So
Okay.
yeah, but my helper's going to come back in again. Here he comes again. Helper just wants to be part of the show.
And I love these, some of these rolls. You just have to be careful. Now, one of my friends, I love her dearly. She doesn't like raw fish. She even though she grew up having ceviche, when she would eat ceviche, it's cook the shrimp, then cut it up and put it in rice, in lemon, not let the lemon cook the shrimp.
Oh,
Very particular. So she would have sushi, but only anything that was cooked. And she didn't like the seaweed, and so she would get rice paper. So you can order rice paper instead. So those were her things, but she loved it. She just wanted it cooked.
To me, the seaweed doesn't taste. There's not enough defining taste to make me not like it.
Mm-hmm.
I do prefer it a lot without the rice. I really do. But I mean, and we actually have experimented in a couple of different places where we've gotten, rolls that were done with seaweed and no rice.
Okay.
So where they had interesting different rolls.
Right.
We had one place that had this almost like a bowl, and I forget what they called it. All right. And, oh my God, we used to get that every time too. I mean, that was another expensive one. That was a restaurant that we visited for a while down by our old place, and then suddenly, just all of a sudden, stopped going there one day. And, yeah. I made the mistake one time of in my mastermind program. The first year of my mastermind program, you get to come to my house and we work on your business for 5 hours.
Okay.
And one time, one client said, "Hey, yeah, I want to go get sushi with you." And yeah, that just about ate up the budget of what it cost.
Lovely. So I have gotten that the first time. I remember I was in Diamond Bar, California. It was a chirashi bowl.
Yeah.
Love it. I mean, you get all the things in there. It's just absolutely delicious. It is not a poke bowl. That's very different.
It wasn't quite a poke bowl. I don't know what it was called.
No, it's a chirashi.
Yeah.
Chirashi, chirashi bowl. It just has the rice. It has all the different fish in there. It is absolutely delicious. Very filling. I do remember eating that. That's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I do remember one time getting one of my rolls that was made with the cucumber instead of the seaweed.
Yes.
Problem was when it unraveled right on my throat.
Yeah.
And it felt like it was still there. So the next day I went to the emergency room because I was having a hard time breathing. I felt like it was still there. It's like, boss says, go to the emergency room. I'm like, so I went. They put a camera up my nose, down my throat, just to make sure. And they said it's not there, but it had irritated my throat quite a bit. So they gave me this stuff to numb my throat. But I remember that was just like, I have a hard time. And I love cucumber, but it was like they literally got the cucumber nice and thin, and rolled it out, filled it, sliced it up, and yeah.
That's one of the reasons why I take my roll and chop it into pieces.
I remember one.
The roll would, I mean, it would have been chopped. I wouldn't have gotten pieces like that. Because
I saw somebody do this to a roll, and I'm like, why are you getting a roll if you're going to torture your roll?
Yeah. That's where you get the bowl type stuff anyway.
There you go. Exactly. You get all the things without having to disrespect your roll.
Yeah.
So that's the history of sushi, this history of sake. Try a sake at a sushi place. See what you like. If you do want to buy it, get the smaller bottles so that you can determine what it is that you like. And if you can find sake one, it's Oregon based.
Uh-huh. Well, yeah, I mean, this is a great experiment. I mean, yes, we've had sushi before, but we never had the sake. The sake was the missing piece that we've never had before. And it's one of those things that I probably haven't drank it that much over the years because of my first experience. And tonight, I'm really kind of enjoying this. It is not a hard drink on me. And
so this is your second time having sake? Is that what you're saying? Third.
No, I'll taste it sometimes. We're out. Gwen will get it. She'll get a thing of it, right?
Okay.
And I'll taste it, but I very rarely drink it with it. Usually when I go for sushi, there's one of two things I drink. Almost always I'm getting tea.
Yeah,
but if I'm not getting tea, I'm gonna just get a regular Dr. Pepper with it. All right. I hardly ever. I would never have like my typical Buffalo Trace whiskey with it. All right. I'd probably consider having a good beer, not a Bud Light, but a good beer. I'd probably
it's a Sapporo.
Yeah.
Kirin.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will sometimes have beer. What I normally have is number one, tea.
Yeah.
If I'm not having tea with my water, but I love the tea. Tea just goes so well with sushi, sashimi. I'll have a beer.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'll have sake. It just depends. But even if I'm having sake, I'm usually sharing, and then I'll end up sharing a beer. So it's just that there's something about beer or tea that just tastes so delicious.
It's what pairs with it. I would never consider having a Merlot wine with it.
Oh, no.
It just doesn't match. All right.
They have like a plum wine at some of the restaurants they go to, but still, it's just not what I want to have.
I don't think I'd have a Jack Daniels or a wine, or I don't think I'd have any of those drinks with it. To me, it's because of the luxury of the food. I want a simple drink.
Yes.
I think that's what it is. That's got to be the way. It's not I don't want a complicated drink to go with a luxurious premium food, right? And again, it's about the experience. I'm not here to double dip on my experiences of everything. I want a nice even keel.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyway, well, this has been a fun episode. What do you think?
Yes, love it. So I had the ginger, and of course, the ginger has a little bit of a bite.
Yes. And
then I drank the sake.
Mm-hmm.
That just toned down that ginger. I can still taste the ginger; it's still there. But it went very well. So yes, this is one that goes very well with spice. I don't know that I'm going to have chocolate. Somehow chocolate and sake is not what I would normally want to do. Plus, I'm not a big sweets eater anyway. So why am I going to ruin this deliciousness of my sushi with my ginger and then throw chocolate in there? No. Yes, Asahi Extra Dry. Good choice, Robert.
Robert, you got that, man. Yeah.
Yeah. He's got it. Asahi's a good one. Orion is a hard one to get.
Yeah.
So if y'all ever see Orion, go with that. But usually Sapporo, Asahi, Kirin are the top three that you will find at a Japanese restaurant.
Yep. Yep. Well, today's episode, guys, was just experimenting with something we haven't done yet before, and that's what it is. It's about liking the way you drink. Tim, we'll do sake again. I don't know if I'm going to do hot sake. I think I'll probably do cold. It's okay.
It's more refreshing, in my opinion. It has that refreshing flavor to it. It's just
experience.
It's winter, maybe if it's winter.
Yeah, maybe. But anyway, I mean, it's all about the experience, and I'm glad we did it. All right, because it wasn't like I wasn't fearing it. I just was like, it was always something I never really drank by itself, and it's probably because I didn't have the right pairing, which is what the show is about: pairing the right food with the right drink.
Yep.
All right. Before we go, I guess we've got to do well. Before we've got it. No, we are gonna, because it's our company pays the bills on this thing. So I'm trying to get to the banners to do it. So
I was going to ask if you were doing the commercial or if we're doing our own.
Hey, let's do the commercials tonight. We haven't done them in a while.
All right, sounds good.
There we go. Where is it? There we go.
Welcome to Insurance by Design, the expert in crafting tailored employee benefits packages, working with both your English and Spanish-speaking staff. Led by the acclaimed Gladys Boutwell, we're licensed to serve you in Oregon and Washington. Gladys brings a wealth of expertise with an MBA in international business and leadership, and is a certified insurance counselor. Honored for her contributions to Latino equity in Oregon, Gladys is also a best-selling author. Her book, Health Insurance Secrets Revealed, is revolutionizing how we understand insurance. With bilingual prowess, Gladys enhances communication, making insurance smoother and easier for all your employees. Is your website attracting the traffic and engagement it deserves? At SimpleEasyWebsites.com, we specialize in transforming ordinary websites into extraordinary experiences. Our experts know what it takes to make your online presence stand out and succeed. Gain valuable insights and tailored strategies with our professional website review. Don't let your website be just another page in the digital world. Visit SimpleEasyWebsites.com now and book your consultation today.
All right. So
simple and easy.
Simple and easy. The only other thing we don't have a commercial for is our Insiders Club, which you can go to. Hold on, it's here. Oh yeah, wait a minute. Here we go. Must be 21 to join our Insiders Club. You can be able to do these experiences with us. All right, and actually come out to some of the events that we're going to be having in the upcoming year, and experience food and drink experiences with us. So, likethewayyoudrink.com. Sign up. It's free to sign up. All right, it is a list. We have to make sure you're 21 to join. So, other than that, all right. Anything else you want to say about your business today?
Y'all, if you have questions, go to enrollnoworegon.com and get on my calendar. We'll have the conversation. See what is it that you want to accomplish? How do you want to attract, retain quality staff? Let's talk about it.
Yeah. Oh, and go to Instagram. Instagram, Like the Way You Drink on Instagram, or Like the Way You Drink on YouTube, which I know, some of you guys are watching this on YouTube. Give us a like over there. All right. Subscribe to our pages. We'd appreciate it. And we'll be back here next week with another fun episode. You guys, let me cut that out. There we go. Anything else?
That's it, y'all. Enjoy your week. Have something good to drink. Share it with us on our Facebook page, and you might be the next one that we call out during the show.
Yep. So,
cheers,
right,
y'all.
guys. Cheers.